Okay, y'all just mad because I get 3 canned food stamps. So what? I get all kind of snacks.
Maybe I am mad because 3K in food stamps and housing when you don't got a job. And then there's people that are literally have 2 jobs and they can barely pay their rent. And if they try to apply for food stamps, they get nothing or $25, little to nothing. And they're actually trying to make money on their own and not just relying on government assistance. That's where the inequality in this system comes to play. And it's not because of you necessarily, because I mean, you just applied and they gave it to you. It's the government. The way that their setup is crazy. So I guess you could say, yeah, I am mad. Maybe get a job. At least be a content creator or something. My gosh.
Finally, you get to see the true America. The stipulation has always been that black people are lazy, that black people are on welfare. Well, guess what? A lot of poor white people in the red states are now crying that they're not getting the EBT money from the EBT cards. Why? Because they are on welfare. They have 7 and 8 kids. Now the truth is coming out since Trump has slashed funding for the EBT and the SNAP programs. You see how many white people now are on welfare. So all this mythical stuff about black people being on welfare. Oh, it's the blacks, it's the blacks, it's the blacks. Now you're seeing the real America. That it's not only black people on welfare, that there are a lot of white people on welfare also. There are a lot of white people, a lot of poor people living in those red states. And those red states that voted for Trump are now getting hit hard.
Somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now, because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean? Because what the fuck is happening? Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work? Do you understand there are people like me who have kids who cannot eat? Do you understand there are people like me who go hungry the last week of the month just so my kids can't eat? Because SNAP benefits is all we fucking get. I need somebody to please fucking tell me he's lying. I can't.
So, in order to pay for Trump's tax cuts for billionaires, Republicans want to cut SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, by over 20%. The sad part is, the majority of Americans who depend on SNAPs for things like food stamps, they live in Republican areas. Don't believe me? Look at the facts. As of 2009, these are the counties in the United States with the highest percentage of population receiving SNAP benefits. And as you can see, all Republican counties in Republican-led states: Alaska, Kentucky, South Dakota, Missouri, South Dakota, North Dakota, Missouri, Louisiana. The list goes on. It is Republican states that benefit from SNAP, yet what does Donald Trump want to do? And why are they doing this? They're trying to nickel and dime every program that actually helps Americans so that they can have enough money for guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg to enjoy more tax cuts. Don't believe me? Look it up.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Well, Trump MAGA voters are waking up to some real consequences, and this time it's hurting them where it hurts most: their pockets and their plates. No more SNAP benefits and no more food stamps. Now the very people who cheered for a budget cut are now realizing very late that they just cut themselves out of a meal. Now, if you're being honest here, whether you voted for Trump or not, there's some people who really need these assistance actually to get by in life. The problem is that some people have been milking the system for years. People don't want to work, they just want to milk the government and look down on people who are working hard. Let's watch the following videos of a woman who is actually doing the same, trying to milk the government. If you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing and let me know your opinions in the comment section below.
Yeah, you heard it right here. Yes, this is me. This is a 3K, 3,000 EBT queen. 7 kids, 7 different baby daddies. So what? I get 3,000 in food stamps. Yes, I love it over here. I will not give up this lifestyle. I love it. You hear me? Yes. And yes, I do have a full-time job. Yes, I do. Yes, I have a full-time job and I take care of my kids. They are well taken care of. Y'all be worried about the wrong thing, but you heard it right here. This is me, EBT Queen. Call me the EBT Queen.
I know you guys saw what Trump said about food stamps and all the government assistance, Section 8, and it's about time. And I'm not trying to bash on anyone that is on Section 8 or food stamps, because that's you, do your thing. But so many people milk it. Like, there's so many people that could actually use the help and they can't because they work too much or whatever. They make too much. But how is that fair when you're literally just sitting home, not working, and you're getting all these benefits? Like, that's just not fair. And don't get me wrong, because I've been on food stamps before. And obviously I'm not on food stamps anymore. I was on it a couple years ago. My son's about 7, so I remember when he was born, I did qualify for WIC, food stamps and all that. But Section 8 and food stamps and all those benefits are not made to, like, for you to stay on them forever. Like, I saw a video on a woman that said she was on them since she was 19 and she's in her 30s. Like, girl, what do you mean? Like, go get a job and go provide for your 6 kids. Like, how are you gonna be on food stamps and rely on the government for, like, your entire life? You know what I mean?
I just seen that Trump is making a change with food stamps. So I think it's requirements, but I think you have to work a minimum of a certain amount of hours in order to get food stamps. And I love that. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be a lot of people living off government assistance, literally never working a job, stacking all their personal bread, and literally living off the government their whole lives. I've been working since I was 16 years old. I go to work every day faithfully, no matter if I was in school, high school, college, and no matter, I always had a job. And the only time I was able to get food stamps was when I was in college. And when I didn't have a job for like 2 months, like when I first like moved back from college. That was the only time I was ever eligible for food stamps. And barely when I was in college, barely made it. So I feel like this is good. The people who are actually working, putting in the work, putting in the effort, that just need a little bit of boost, you know, just a little bit of help with groceries. Like, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for us. I'm saying us, including me, because yes, need that. Versus people who actually can get up and go through. I'm not even talking about people's grandparents who, you know what I mean, they can't physically get up. They need it. But people who literally can go get up and go work and go make it for themselves, they just choose not to. Like, taking advantage completely. So yes, I'm excited. Hopefully I can give me some. Okay.
Wow, guys, I actually think that people like this is why most people are angry with these government assistance, because a lot of people are milking the system and they do not want to work hard. They do not want to find a job. There's so many people who are working hard that could use some help, you know, getting 3K in food stamps and housing. That's crazy. You know, someone actually tweeted here and said, it's called cheating on your taxes. A Hispanic co-worker told me that her cousin lies on the form to get food stamps, EBT. She gets $500 a month and sells them. There are some of the same people that also cheat on their taxes. This is crazy. Now, if you are being honest here, guys, this kind of anger is actually legitimate. Let's keep watching.
How did I miss this? The government wants to make it that you cannot buy junk food with your food stamp. La! The hefties will raise hell. The roly-poly-oly's gonna roll. I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself on this, and y'all tell me what you think. House Bill 279. They want this everywhere. Make you unable to buy junk on your stamp card. 1, energy drinks. Lord, how Earl gonna make it. 2, cookies, candy bars, ice cream, cakes and pies. La! They taking Carl Wayne's Christmas tree cakes. Tater chips. Not Tatiana's tater chips. La! And soft drink. Not to pop! What's Patricia Gale gonna do if she can't buy the pop? She already standing in line for 4 hours to get 47 carton. To turn around and sell it for twice the price. She can buy her cigarettes. What's she gonna do now? What y'all think about this? I got thoughts. Do you agree with the government telling people what they can and can't buy? It's on taxpayer dime. Should they have free reign? Is this a step into making America healthy again? Maha. Little fact for you. 1 in 2 Americans either has diabetes or at risk for diabetes. Last recorded in 2022, $27 billion was paid for with stamps to buy junk food. Do you like this idea? Or do you totally hate it and think it's government overreach? I'll wait.
There will be no more Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, nor food stamps.
I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that.
Baby, they are so okay with you feeling that little pain that of course you will understand. House Republicans just released their budget plan with trillions of dollars of tax cuts for the ultra-wealthy and spending cuts at the expense of your ass. But of course, my ass doesn't just read the article. I go to the 45-page budget resolution document that the Republicans published themselves. Getting right to the details, whenever you see anything that says reduce the deficit, that means they're cutting spending. Whenever you see increase the deficit by, that means they're increasing the spending. So the Committee on Agriculture, they want to reduce the deficit by $230 billion for the fiscal year of 2025 through 2034, which is 9 years, so give or take $23 billion a year. But they're expecting you to not know that SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is also food stamps, is under the Department of Agriculture. They're expecting you to think U.S. Department of Agriculture only means farming, right? No. It's farming, food, forestry, rural development, and nutrition. One of the key things is also food safety. It's not like we need food safety or anything when the bird flu is now spreading to cattle and now affecting our milk, which some states don't even test it. But okay, But don't worry, our anti-war president is definitely going to give $100 billion to the Committee of Armed Services, which is our military. So he can take Greenland, Panama, and Canada because, that's going to lower our prices and make our lives better. Number 3, they're going to reduce the deficit in education by $330 billion. Who the fuck needs education when 54% of American adults read below the 6th grade reading level? Oh, this is another good one. Committee on Energy and Commerce. They want to reduce the deficit by $880 billion. But again, they don't want you to know that the Energy and Commerce Committee has the broadest jurisdiction of any authorizing committee in Congress. It legislates on a wide variety of issues, including healthcare, including mental health and substance abuse, health insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid. So again, $880 billion cuts means no more Medicaid, no more Medicare. And on top of that, they want to reduce the deficit in, oh yes, you guessed it, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. Of course they want to defund that and reduce the deficit by $50 billion. Who the fuck needs government oversight when Elon Musk and Trump can do whatever the fuck they want? Oh yeah, and they're saying fuck that infrastructure. You don't need transportation. You don't need more air traffic controllers. Oh, we got this all covered. They want to cut another $10 billion out of the transportation and infrastructure. It's not like we got planes falling out of the sky or anything. Don't worry about it. But oh yes, let's increase the deficit by more than $90 billion to the Committee on Homeland Security. If you guessed border security and enforcement because it does fall under the Department of Homeland Security, then you guessed right. Those billions of dollars will be used for his border wall and, of course, Guantanamo Bay so that the concentration camps could be full. And finally, the Committee on Ways and Means. He wants to increase the deficit by no more than $4.5 trillion. You guessed it, the Ways and Means Committee has jurisdiction over all taxation, tariffs, and other revenue-raising measures. This is all about giving tax cuts to the ultra-wealthy at your expense. Oh no, but you'll understand that little pain.
Alright guys, how would you feel if you are a veteran who has actually served the country and you find out that a migrant or an immigrant, actually someone who do not belong to the country, someone who has not even served the country the way you did, is getting over $13,000 in food stamps and you are getting pennies, just $23? Well, the following video is of a veteran actually who just found out that, and understandably, he didn't take it well.
A migrant, okay, an immigrant, left a receipt in the store. And you know how I got the food stamp remaining balance at the bottom of the receipt, right? $13,500 with a $5,000 cash, Larry. Okay? Migrant, somebody that's not from this country. Now, you are a veteran and you've also served this country, correct?
Correct.
Now tell these fucking people, okay, after I just said they left the receipt with a $13,000 food stamp balance. Tell these people, as a veteran that served this country, right? Tell them how much food stamps you get in a month.
$23.
Not $2,300.
$23.
Not $230. How much you getting in food stamps a month?
$23 a month.
$23 versus a person that's not even from this fucking country versus a person that did not serve this fucking country. $13,000 they said it was on that receipt.
$23.
And you fighting to get your what?
100.
Your 100% from the VA.
From the VA.
He can't even get it. America, you should be a fucking shame to your goddamn self.
100%.
Listen, if you have food stamps that my tax dollars are paying for, good. I'm glad. Because guess what? I've been that mom. I've been that mom that needed food stamps to feed my kids. I've been that mom that rationed out money that I got on the 4th of every month to make sure that me and my kids were fed for the whole month. I've been the mom that needed that help. And luckily, I've been blessed in this life now to where I don't need that help anymore. But let me just tell you, I saw a video on here a couple days ago, and the lady started the video with, "It's EBT day." And she goes to Walmart and she shows everything that she puts in the cart. She buys snacks for her babies, she buys formula, she buys stuff for dinners. She does buy some sweets. And people were coming for her neck in the comments. "Oh, glad my tax dollars could buy you candy. You didn't even buy food, you bought junk. Way to clear all the formula off the shelf." Y'all, be so for real. In the world we live in, be grateful that you have the means to pay the tax dollars that helps someone else and you don't need that help yourself. And you might want to humble yourself because your situation could change very quickly. And you could be the next one looking forward to EBT day so that you can buy some groceries for yourself and your kids. So in conclusion, stop being a judgmental prick. Be grateful for what you have and stop looking down on others that may not have as much as you. And be grateful that your tax dollars are helping put food in a child's mouth. I said what I said.
Alright guys, there you have it actually. Let's break it down. What's happening? Donald Trump's new budget proposal includes major cuts to SNAP, also known as food stamps. Now, for those who don't know, SNAP is a government program that helps low-income families to buy groceries. And we are not talking about a few people here. Over 40 million Americans rely on this program. Now, for those of you who voted for the orange man in charge, well, it served you well actually to have these consequences come to you. You effed around with your voice. Now you're finding out the hard way. Because how could you? How could you vote actually against your own best interest when people were warning you beforehand? Many people were telling you beforehand that these Trump policies were actually gonna come to backbite you, because most of you thought that Trump policies were only going to affect immigrants, you know, and other countries which were ripping America off, like, you know, countries like China, just as he promised in his campaigns. But what you didn't know was that, you know, the government operates like a body. You cannot go hurting your toe, actually saying you are an arm, you won't feel the pain, you know. Whether it's the toe that gets hurt, whether it's the arm that gets hurt, the whole body feels the pain. It's the same thing with Trump policies. Many MAGA voters thought that Trump policies were only going to affect a designated, you know, group of people, but they didn't get the idea that these policies were gonna affect them too. Because whether it's immigrants being deported, whether it's China getting tariffs, it's coming back to affect you also. Now, in his budget proposal, Donald Trump is cutting SNAP, food stamps that most Americans actually rely on. The only problem is that, as we have seen in the videos, there are some people who are milking the government, who are milking the system, and they do not want to work. That is why most people actually think SNAP is a scam. Food stamps are a scam. And honestly, I do not personally agree with that. You are not supposed to be on food stamps forever. As we have seen, like the lady who has been on food stamps for like 30 years since she was 19, and she has 7 baby daddies, and she's actually milking the government. She's milking the system. That is not acceptable, but we cannot take away the fact that we have some people who actually benefit from these government programs who are going to lose big deal. We have some people who actually cannot work because of disability or any other, you know, underlying causes. These people need these programs to support them so that they can get a meal. And some people were actually debating, is it acceptable for you to get SNAP or food stamps and go buy junk food, candies, and all that stuff? I think it depends, you know. You can be having kids and kids do like candies, but if you're a grown-up man, if you're a grown-up woman, it's not acceptable for you to get food stamps and go spend it on junk food. You need to buy some healthy things. You need to buy some healthy food. As we have seen, they want to put a limit on what people can buy, you know, in terms of food stamps, so that they cannot get themselves some junk food. Now, to the Trump MAGA supporters who actually voted for this, and they are now being affected because they are on the verge of losing their food stamps, well, you voted for this. As we have seen, many red states actually depend on food stamps and SNAP benefits. You voted for this, you effed around, now you need to find out. The only problem is that the consequences of your actions are having to be shared with many people who do not deserve to actually be going through this. Thank you very much for watching this far, guys. If you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing, like the video, and drop me your opinions in the comment section below. I'll be back on the next episode.